Board of Commissioners meeting. This is Tuesday, April 8th, and we are looking forward to calling this meeting to order. We'll start with the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Andy Rogers, the director of Camp Westminster. Glad to have you this morning.
Glad to be here. Thank you all, commissioners and Madam Chair. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Could you share with the community a little bit about Camp Westminster and your beautiful place over there?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
We are in year number 70 of bringing the gospel to children. So we have a summer camp program for ages 6 to 16-year-olds that runs 7 weeks this summer. We'll have about 1,000 campers come out over that time with about 56 staff that run the place, college age mostly. Then year-round we do retreats and conferences, and so if church groups, youth groups, school groups, family groups want to come out and enjoy our facilities, we can sleep a little over 300 people each night and feed over 330 in our dining hall each meal, and so depending on the size group, we're open and available for y'all. Yeah.
Thank you. It's a hidden gem in our community, and I know people come from all over to the camp. So
All over, yes.
thank you for your
Yes,
great
ma'am.
work.
All
Okay.
right. Will you pray with me? Heavenly Father, thank you for this meeting. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the freedoms that we have to come before you to decide big and small decisions. Father, we ask, Lord, that, well, Lord, we already know that you love us. You displayed your love by offering your Son up on the cross for our sins. And we ask, Father, that if nothing else, people put their faith in you through him and come to know you fully as they should. But we ask, Lord, for your wisdom as well. We make decisions in this place that don't last for today or tomorrow, but for generations, that will outlast our terms, outlast even our lives. And so we ask for your wisdom, that you would guide us in your best. There are many good things we can do, probably some not so good things, but Lord, we ask for your best, that you would guide us in making those decisions. We praise you and give you the honor for it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Please rise and face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, today we have several special recognitions and presentations. First, we're going to recognize that it's Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month, and we have a proclamation. So if the members of that group can come forward. I do want to make sure that everybody knows, as you leave today, notice all the beautiful pinwheels that represent in our community, and I'm going to have you tell us a little bit about what those pinwheels mean as we come down and join you.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioners, for letting us be here today. I'm Meredith Hutchison, the Director of Education for what was Prevent Child Abuse Rockdale Newton. We are now Positive Childhood Alliance Rockdale Newton. So we've been serving Rockdale and Newton counties for 35 years, providing education, equipping families, and encouragement to moms and dads and grandparents of children, mostly for children, pregnant moms up through children of age 5. So we serve through home visiting 160 families a year. We're serving over 100 families a year with tutoring in 3 Rockdale County elementary schools, working on expanding that as we get more volunteers. Most of that's volunteer driven. And then I serve 800 families plus a year at the hospital, providing education, resources, encouragement, and hands-on car seat assistance to families, to moms after they've had a baby.
Can you talk about the car seat assistance program?
Yes, so the Department of Public Health in Georgia provides car seat training and assistance to most counties in Georgia, and I run the Rockdale car seat program. So families who are in need of a car seat, who are financially eligible, can receive a convertible or a booster seat through me. Oftentimes families drive up to fire department or call the police department and say, hey, can y'all help us out with the car seat, or can you check my car seat because I don't know how to do that. Then they route those calls to me, and then I make those appointments. Most of those I do at the hospital. So
Great. Very good.
We appreciate you honoring us today, and thank you for your time. Thank you for
Who's
help.
your sidekick today?
My sidekick today is our Mr. Yoder, who's a board president. Our director, Diane Howington, is not well today, so she apologizes for not being here, and I'm taking her place today. So thank you for having us.
Yeah, and thank you for the excellent work that you do. We have a proclamation to present to you today. All right. By the Board of Commissioners, we have a proclamation. Whereas, as part of the national observance of Child Abuse Prevention Month, Prevent Child Abuse Rockdale has organized a public awareness campaign to focus on prevention activities and services necessary to eliminate child abuse. And whereas, Prevent Child Abuse Rockdale is a countywide, volunteer-based organization dedicated to the prevention of child abuse and neglect, providing numerous programs and services to the community. And whereas the tragic reality of child abuse is that it continues to be one of the most urgent family, health, and social problems in our community today, crossing all social, cultural, and economic boundaries. And whereas Rockdale County government and all of our citizens are committed to child abuse prevention, and we support every effort to protect our children. Now, therefore, we, the members of the Board of Commissioners of Rockdale County, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Rockdale County, and call upon citizens, community agencies, religious organizations, educators, medical facilities, and businesses to encourage their participation in strengthening our community through the prevention of child abuse. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the official seal of Rockdale County to be affixed on this 8th day of April 2025. Signed, Chair Janice Van Ness, Commissioner Post 1, Tawanya Smith, and Commissioner Post 2, Doreen Williams.
Okay, our next one is to recognize National Donate Life Month proclamation. Is that group here? All right. Well, we still read it, correct?
Yes, we'll still read it on behalf of LifeLink.
Okay, all right. Whereas the most meaningful gifts that a human being can give another is the gift of life. And whereas in 2024, 48,149 transplant patients in the U.S. received life-saving organ transplants, of which 1,046 were from Georgia, which are record numbers for transplants in a calendar year. And whereas more than 100,000 men, women, and children await life-saving and life-enhancing organ transplants, and of that number, more than 3,000 live in Georgia. And whereas the need for organ, eye, and tissue donation grows daily as a new patient is added to the National Organ Transplant waiting list every 8 minutes. While the critical donor shortage remains a public health crisis, with an average of 16 people dying each day due to the lack of available organs, and whereas organ, eye, and tissue donations provide families with optimism and instill in the recipients a renewed hope for a healthy life. And whereas Donate Life Month is an opportunity to spotlight the growing need for citizens in Rockdale County and across the nation to sign up to become organ, eye, and tissue donors and learn more about LifeLink of Georgia, the nonprofit community service organization dedicated to the recovery of high-quality organs and tissues for transplantation therapy. And whereas more than 3.8 million Georgians have already registered their decision to give the gift of life at www.donatelifegeorgia.org, which is the ultimate act of generosity and kindness. Whereas Rockdale County shares in the excitement of Donate Life Month and commends LifeLink of Georgia life-saving mission. Now, therefore, we, the members of the Board of Commissioners of Rockdale County, do hereby proclaim April 25th as Donate Life Month in Rockdale County and honor all those who made the decision to give the gift of life, highlight the extreme need for organ, eye, and tissue donation, and encourage residents to sign up on Georgia's donor registry at www.donatelifegeorgia.org. In witness whereof, we have hereunto set our hands and caused the official seal of Rockdale County to be affixed on this 8th day of April 2025. Janice Van Ness, Chairwoman, Tawanya Smith, Commissioner Post 1, and Doreen Williams, Commissioner Post 2.
And then we have a proclamation for National County Government Month. Whereas the nation's 3,069 counties provide a variety of essential public services to communities serving more than 330 million Americans, and whereas county governments are essential to moving America forward by fulfilling a vast range of responsibilities that touch every aspect of our lives, including keeping communities safe, vibrant, and thriving. And whereas Rockdale County takes pride in our responsibility to protect and enhance the health, safety, and well-being of our residents in efficient and cost-effective ways, and whereas each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to promote awareness of county responsibilities, programs, and services. And whereas Rockdale County works diligently to provide programs, activities, and services that cater to an enhanced quality of life for our citizens, now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as National County Government Month and encourage all county officials, employees, schools, and residents to acknowledge and participate in county celebration activities. In witness whereof, we have set our hands and caused the official seal of Rockdale County to be affixed on this 8th day of April 2025. Chairwoman Janice Van Ness, Commissioner Post 1 Tawanya Smith, and Commissioner Post 2 Doreen Williams. I almost feel like we're setting ourselves up for a proclamation or something. It's kind of weird. But we do appreciate so much the citizens of Rockdale County. We really appreciate our employees. They do a phenomenal job at providing services and making sure that the citizens have the opportunities they need to feel safe in their community. And I really want to highlight the employees and how much they do. And who gets that proclamation?
Well, Miss Director Rutledge is going to take it. All right, now we are going to recognize our 10U youth basketball team. If you'd like to come up front with us, and you as well.
Thank you. All right. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Tahara Wilson, Interim Director of Parks and Recreation. So PR will queue up a nice video that they created for us to capture us hosting the GRPA state tournament back in March. Hi, I'm Tahara Wilson, the Deputy Director of Rockdale County Parks and Recreation. We hosted the Georgia Recreation and Park Association State Class A basketball tournament for 14U and 17U boys. It was a very great experience. We had 15 teams represented in the tournament and 10 different counties and cities from across Georgia who came to Rockdale as part of the tournament. Our two 14 and 17U boys Rockdale Junior Hawks teams actually participated in the state tournament. We appreciate the opportunity to host, as this is our first time hosting the state tournament. The tournament took place at 3 of our gyms within our Parks and Recreation inventory, 2 gyms at Johnson Park Rec Center and 1 gym at J.P. Carr. We would love and like to congratulate the winners of each age division tournament and look forward to hosting again next year. All right, so last month, Rockdale County Parks and Recreation had the exciting opportunity to host the 14U and 17U Georgia Recreation and Park Association Boys Basketball State Tournament. As you can see from the video, it was truly a fantastic experience. We welcomed nearly 3,000 visitors, from 10 counties and cities across Georgia, proudly showcasing the very best of the Rockdale community without incident. If my team can stand, which they are behind me, and acknowledge for a job well done, just want to say thank you. Both our 14 and 17U teams competed and represented Rockdale with pride, heart, and sportsmanship. While they didn't place this year, their performance and spirit were nothing short of commendable. And rest assured, we'll be back next year stronger than ever. However, today we're here to shine the spotlight on another outstanding group, our 10U basketball team. This young and determined team showed up and showed out, winning the GRPA District 6 Class A basketball tournament in Walton County. Their tenacity, thank you. Their tenacity, teamwork, and hard work earned them a spot at the state tournament where they proudly represented Rockdale County for the very first time at that level. We want to extend our deepest appreciation to the parents whose support makes all the difference, and to the dedicated, passionate volunteer coaches who led and inspired these young athletes. So let's give a big thank you to Coach Dylan, Coach Quantel, and Coach Carlos Gibson for their contributions. So at this time, I would like Coach Carlos to come up and say a few words, please, who, by the way, has given 16 years of dedicated volunteer experience with the county.
Excellent.
Good morning, Chairwoman Van Ness,
Good to see you.
Commissioner Williams, Post Commissioner Smith. I want to thank you for recognizing these guys.
Absolutely.
They worked tremendously hard this whole year. So when I picked the team, the first day in practice, they said, we're going to win this region for Coach Carlos. We're going to win it. And they were determined. State championship, we're getting ready to do the state championship. They said, Coach Carlos, we're going to win. And they tried so hard to win that. They was down by 12 points in the third quarter, ended up losing by 3 points. Wow. So they fought, cried, everything. And I said, we still champions to them.
Absolutely.
This feels so good to me coming from born and raised here in Conyers, Georgia. Playing, I was one of these kids playing in this league. It's just so special to me that winning this. When I talked to the deputy director last year, Wilson last year, we lost in the finals. I told her last year, Wilson, we're not going to lose no more. This is it. We're going to win this. And I'm just so extremely proud of these boys. I can't say nothing else. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you very
Thank you.
much. And your leadership. Yep.
No. Yeah. Unless she wants to. There's the finance. Okay. Okay. What?
Thanks. All right, and now we're ready for Chief Sanders.
Yes. She will bring to us the budget presentation.
Yes.
You want me to-
Okay.
Is it, okay?
You're good.
All right, okay. And PR is working to put the budget presentation on the screen.
Okay.
So what you see before you is the 2025 budget to actuals document for February, the month ending February. At the end of February, the ideal remaining percentage for departments is 83.33% of the total budget. The majority of departments meet or exceed this goal. The only exceptions are National EMS, which is paid quarterly, so there are no concerns. Agencies, which are paid quarterly, and there are no concerns. Libraries and economic development are slightly below the ideal remaining percentage, but they are paid based on a schedule, and that will adjust at the end of the year. So no concerns there as well. Overall, the general fund remaining percentage is 87.37%, which exceeds the ideal remaining percentage of 83.33% by just over 4%.
Okay.
The enterprise funds containing water resources and stormwater both have exceeded the ideal remaining percentage as well, and combined have 88.09% of their budgets remaining. Finance continues throughout the year to monitor expenditures closely and meets with departments and offices to discuss any challenges.
Very
Any
good.
questions? Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, at this time, we have public comment, and I just have one card at this time. If anybody else would like to speak, if you'll just get the card there. First, we have Janine Mumford. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Chair Van Ness.
Yes.
When you promised to, when you ran, you promised to make Mountain Valley a priority. This has not happened. That's why I asked you at the first town hall meeting, what were your plans? I was instructed to contact Jennifer Rutledge, which I did on, after leaving numerous messages. I spoke with her on March 31st. I was informed that there were no reports or information regarding Mountain Valley. I was very disappointed. How can you continue to urge people to move to Rockdale County when you aren't currently servicing or haven't been servicing the citizens here? So I'm very disheartened to hear that you guys aren't doing what you promised to do when you ran.
Thank you. Next, we have Nusinti Hootie. Sorry. I know. Please.
Okay, this time total difference. Item number 1, I didn't get to thank you for your strong stand for the equal vision opportunity. I want to thank you for that. I got news. Thank you. Stormwater will be coming to do our drains, which was the only thing I wanted to see for immediate relief to Mountain Valley while they work on fixing. But they're coming and they're going to get the job done. I want to thank Mr. Simpkins. He was kind enough to not only say it, but to follow up and let us know when it was going to be done. Now, with the thank you, I also read the agenda for today. And I just want to ask if when at the end or whenever you guys talk, could you explain to us how come all of the gas stations and the box stores and all of that stuff are back on the agenda? I know the moratorium is over, but hopefully you won't vote for them to come back. We got a beautiful complex. Please pass these out a little more. I had to go to Stormwater to get one. We got a beautiful complex coming. Yeah, we're going to be in debt up to our hollyhocks. We know that, but it's a beautiful, beautiful complex. Is it going to be the only nice spot we have? We have to have something to bring business here. We need to bring business to Rockdale, develop businesses. And could we see the vision that you have for Rockdale County so we can all buy into that vision, or maybe tell you what we may not so much like about that vision? Because if this is part of the vision, we're going to be a beautiful place to live. But we got work to do, and it really doesn't need to all come from you. We got to buy into, and we can't buy into what we don't know. So if you got some more pictures like this, can you share them so we can put them in the community? And if you have some pictures of what your vision is on a piece of paper so that we can see and we're not flying blind just with you. Not that we don't trust your vision, but you must admit, we differ on what that should look like. And I really don't want to see no more vape shops and gas stations and box stores. I want to see some businesses and some activities so our young people have something to do. And I want to see Rockdale be a destination. It won't be a destination if all you got to do is come to Rockdale and get gas. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. At this time, we'll have the approval of the agenda for today.
I move to approve the agenda as published.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. We have the approval of the minutes for March 25th, 2025, and April 4th, 2025, which was our board retreat.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions?
No.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. We don't have any unfinished business, so we'll move to new business.
Okay, item 2025-158 is with Comcast Enterprise Services through Technology Services. This is for the water treatment new ENS Circuit Ethernet Network Interface and ENS Basic Network Bandwidth Service. Is $695.87 per month for 60 months, bringing it to a total of $41,752.20 for a total of 60 months. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item.
I move to approve this contract as presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 159 is with the Department of Natural Resources through General Services Department for the DeCastro Trailhead Nature Center and Pavilion. This is change order number 2 to contract 2022-145. Is the limitation of use affidavit to be signed and recorded with the county's property records, and this is a signature only.
Madam Chair, I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion passes.
Item 160 is with Snapping Shoals EMC through the General Services Department for High Rock Road right-of-way easement to provide power to the residents at 2675 Philadelphia Road. It's a permanent easement at no cost.
I move to approve this contract as presented.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 161 is with Conyers First Methodist Church for Emergency Management Agency EMA. It's a memorandum of understanding to provide sheltering facilities during times of need, and this location includes temporary pet sheltering. It's the needs in the field. It's in the needs of the field behind the church. Its EMA will assist the church with the paperwork for reimbursement if disaster is federally declared. This is at no cost to the county. It annually auto renews.
Madam Clerk, can we take all 4 of those
Yes.
similar contracts, please?
So item 162 is with First Baptist Church of Conyers for emergency management as well. Then item 163 is with Springfield Baptist Church for emergency management. And item 164 is with Kent Westminster for emergency management as well. So that's item 161 through 164.
I move to approve contracts 161 through 164.
Madam Chair, I second the motion and also thank these facilities for opening your doors
Yes.
to our
Yes,
citizens.
excellent.
Yes.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 165 is with Georgia State University through the Sheriff's Office. This is an intergovernmental agreement to collaborate with mental health consulting experts to ensure programming and services are properly monitored and in federal and state level compliance. The amount is $7,500. The term is May 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2025. This is grant funded and a budgeted item.
Madam Chair, I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second the motion. I do have a question. Is this for the mental health pod in the jail?
Can the Sheriff's Department address that for us, please? Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it is for the mental health unit, and it is for the programs and services. We have a mental health evaluator that is coming, so these funds will be headed towards that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item 166 is with LexisNexis Risk Solutions to the Sheriff's Office. This is for Accurent Virtual Crime Center software. It's a comprehensive information sharing platform designed for law enforcement and defense agencies. The amount is $22,450 per year. The term is May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026. This is through the general fund and is a budgeted item.
I move to approve this contract as presented.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 The motion carries.
Item 167 is with the Georgia Veterans Memorial Foundation Incorporated through Parks and Recreation Department. This is a memorandum of understanding to coordinate the Walk of Heroes Memorial and Park space within the Black Shoals Park. The county is responsible for utility costs, maintenance, and insurance. The term is March 11, 2025 through March 11, 2026, with option to renew 3 additional 12-month terms. This is a budgeted item.
Madam Chair, I move to approve this contract as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. The motion
So is
carries.
there a cost amount associated with this contract?
Good morning again.
morning.
The only cost would be the utility cost. That's the only thing. So we're covering the utilities for the organization. Yeah. So no rental, facility use costs, nothing like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
That's a great question, and I thank you for asking it. We will work on getting a cost worked out and assessed to it, though. So thank you very much. All right. I believe we voted on that, and that carried.
All right.
So we will move to the next item.
Item 168 is a requisition through the Water Resources Department for Optera Solutions Incorporated for the clearing of various easements. This is a renewal for 2025 in an amount not to exceed $250,000. This is through the Water Enterprise Fund and is a budgeted item.
I move to approve this requisition as presented.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Item 169 is text amendment case 2025-01, an ordinance to amend the text of section 106-1 definitions and section 218-13 standards of use and development of the Unified Development Ordinance of Rockdale County, Georgia, as amended, adding gasoline stations to the definition section and amending the supplemental regulations regulated thereto. To repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes, this is submitted for a second reading.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the second reading and to adopt this ordinance as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. I do have a question for you, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
Will you explain on the next couple of items how this process works.
Yes, as far as just text amendments or what these
These
specifically
text
ones?
amendments we're discussing today.
Okay, so the majority of these text amendments are under the first moratorium that we put in place. And this is to get a better handle on gas stations, vape stores, small box retails, and warehouses. And what we will be doing is putting in provisions that give larger distance requirements for some of these facilities and things that are asked for. And where it becomes to the talk about vape stores is that they will now become non-conforming, which means they will no longer cease to exist. We won't allow them. The ones that are currently here can stay as long as they continue to operate, but if they cease to operate for a period of time, then that will also go away. The bigger picture is we are beginning to rewrite and really take a hard look at our Unified Development Ordinance, which is the about half of the code book that really demonstrates how we allow development into the county. And these are some of the items that we kept hearing over and over again that we want to try to regulate and to try to not have so many of them anymore, including gas stations. So that's where we are. And so today, and as we start going through this process, you will see more and more text amendments on the board's agenda and going through the public hearing process as a whole. So
Very good.
Thank you.
And during the UDO process, there could be additional stipulations put in for specific items here.
absolutely, and I'm really glad that you brought that up, Madam Chair. This is our first kind of look at making sure that we are going through that process and not waiting for everything at one time. You will see when we identify something, we're going to go ahead and try to address it. These were some of the items that came out of the Planning and Zoning Committee that was put together. It was citizen-led, and let's go ahead and start. If we know, I guess, some of the low-hanging fruit that we can start doing text amendments, we're going to get started.
Very good.
So I would like to have Director Gardner come up and be more specific, especially with this gas station one, about what exactly are the changes in the text of that. That and the small box discount retail. Vape stores, you've already covered, they're done.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners.
Good morning.
In reference to the gasoline stations, it provides for a definition, and that definition states that it is a facility that sells fuel for motor vehicles, including but not limited to gasoline and diesel. In section 218-13, it provides for standards of use and development for Article 3 supplemental use in subpart B, and it adds paragraph AA, gasoline station and gasoline station with convenience store, with a new paragraph. And that paragraph also provides several different standards. I can go through those if you would like. It's probably about 10 or 13 of those.
I think the citizens would like to hear that.
Okay, just a moment. So those standards are as follows. The use shall not be established on any lot that is adjacent to any residential district. The use shall not be within 100 feet of lot that is zoned to a residential zoning classification under the Rockdale County zoning map. Number 3, all vehicle repair and maintenance activities shall be carried out entirely within an enclosed building. Number 4, outdoor storage or display of items for sale is prohibited. Number 5, only minor automotive repair and maintenance is allowed and shall be confined within the principal structure out of public view. Commercial vehicles or equipment repair and maintenance are expressly prohibited. Number 6, the use shall have a minimum frontage on the primary street of 150 feet and shall meet the applicable minimum lot size requirement as found in section 214-1. Number 7, gas pumps, canopies, air hoses, and other accessories, appurtenances, and equipment shall be set back at least 25 feet from the right-of-way. Pump islands shall be a minimum of 30 feet from any right-of-way or property line and a minimum of 30 feet from any building on the lot and shall be above grade with respect to any street adjoining the property. B, there shall be no more than 6 multiple product dispensers at any gasoline service station. Vehicular entrances or exits shall not be allowed more than 1 curb cut for the first 150 feet of street frontage. B, shall contain an access width along the curb line of the street of not more than 35 feet as measured parallel to the street at its narrowest point and shall not be located closer than 60 feet to a street intersection or closer than 10 feet to the adjoining property. C, shall provide for adequate acceleration and deceleration lanes if required by the Georgia Department of Transportation or Rockdale County. Item number 9, all drives, parking, storage, and service areas shall be paved and curbed. Number 10, outside above-ground tanks for the storage of gasoline, liquefied petroleum gas, oil, and other flammable liquids or gases shall be prohibited at any gasoline service station. Number 11, overnight accommodations, showers, and overnight customer parking is prohibited. 12, the use shall not be combined with any other uses or facilities so as to create a truck stop. 13, no gas station shall be located within 1 mile of another gas station. This distance shall be measured in a straight line from the nearest property line of the existing gas station to the nearest property line of the proposed gas station. Gasoline service stations shall be located in those districts set forth in the Rockdale County Unified Development Code. There shall be a minimum distance of 500 feet measured from the nearest points of lot boundaries between a proposed gasoline service station and any lot occupied by a church, hospital, school, or other places of public assembly. There should be a minimum distance of 1 mile measured from the nearest points of lot boundaries between a proposed gas station and any existing gasoline service station.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, a question for you. If we have a concern about and would like to extend the distance between gas stations, is that permissible? What would we do with this ordinance?
If you want to do that now, you could do it in your, you could revisit your motion to amend it to whichever distance you were considering.
Okay, very good. And your recommendation would be?
I would say just looking at some of our other text amendments, we have the distance requirements for the small box retail. So I would say we could look at mirroring that, which is a 4 mile distance.
That sounds perfect. Okay.
You want to increase it to 4 miles, is that what you're saying, Director?
Yes. To be consistent.
So I would revise your motion, if this is the desire of the board, to approve the second reading of the ordinance as amended to include a 4 mile distance?
Yes, and also, can you clarify if we addressed schools as one of the areas that there would be the buffer from?
She mentioned school.
I thought-
It
I
does
thought-
churches.
say
She did
in
say
Okay,
the
I just wanted to
school.
clarify.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
All right, so if we could restate the motion.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I make a motion to approve this, the second reading and adopt the ordinance with,
As amended to
as
include
amended with a 4 mile distance between locations.
Yes, I believe that's going to get that.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? All in favor say aye.
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 Thank you.
just not saying.
Oh,
anything.
opposed.
'Cause I-
Okay.
No, I'm not opposed. I just don't know.
Do you want to abstain? Maybe.
You have to put your vote out loud.
Okay, I'll abstain.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, very good.
Abstain. All right.
I would have liked to have seen more research and before we changed that, but
Okay.
that's all.
Okay. All right, the motion carries. Next item is 2025-177.
All right, so item 170 is a text amendment case 2025-02, an ordinance to amend the text of section 106-1 definitions, section 218-1 table of permitted uses, and section 218-13 standards of use and development of the Unified Development Ordinance of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended, adding small box discount retailers to the definitions section, adding small box discount retailers to the table of permitted uses, and adding supplemental regulations related thereto, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
I move to approve the second read and to adopt the ordinance as presented.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 171 is text amendment case 2025-03, an ordinance to amend the text of section 106-1 definitions, section 218-1 table of permitted uses, and section 218-13 standards of use and development of the Unified Development Ordinance of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended, adding vape stores to the definition sections, adding vape stores to the table of permitted uses, and adding supplemental regulations related thereto, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the second reading and to adopt this ordinance as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. I do have a question. Can you address what we're doing about vapes being sold in gas stations and places like that moving forward? That would be a separate ordinance, I would assume.
Do you mean just anywhere? Like,
Any-
okay, yes.
Right.
So we have brought that issue up with the consultants that is handling the UDO process and see what they'll get their input. In fact, staff has a meeting tomorrow with the consultant, and we will make sure that's on their radar too.
Okay, very good. Well, I think this is a great step in the right direction, especially in protecting our children in the community. We know that's a habit for many, and so I think this is wonderful. Thank you. So, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 172 is text amendment case 2025-04, an ordinance to amend the text of section 106-1 definitions, section 218-1 the table of permitted uses, section 218-13 standards of use and development of the Unified Development Ordinance of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended, regarding mini storage warehouses and self-storage units, and amending the supplemental regulations related thereto, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
I move to approve the second reading and to adopt this ordinance as presented.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 173 is text amendment case 2025-05, an ordinance to amend the text of section 106-1 definitions, section 218-1 table of permitted uses, section 206-1 WP watershed protection district, and section 218-13 the standards of use and development of the Unified Development Ordinance of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended, regarding short-term rentals, and amending the supplemental regulations related thereto, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
I think there needs to be a discussion about this one.
Okay.
Some of the ordinance includes regulations, which I think are very appropriate. The part that I have concerns about is the part that says they can only rent it 14 days consecutively or 30 days total out of the year. This is my concern. First off, it's been several years since we've had any complaints about short-term rentals being used inappropriately. Which says to me the regulations that we already have in place are working. Secondly, people have homes and that they have converted to short-term rentals. What happens the other 11 months? That's unsustainable for a business owner to have to leave it vacant 11 months out of the year. So I think it needs some reworking and some rethinking. I was on last night to some of the short-term rental sites. There aren't very many in Conyers right now, but many of them are full homes. And so I have concerns about those businesses.
Yeah, I would join you in that in that conversation. I will say that what I think is happening is there's a lot of underground rentals going on that are not legitimized, if you will. And so there are no registration processes currently that I know of for Airbnbs. And so I've shared some information about like what Putnam County does and how their program is pretty extensive in making sure that it's a safe environment, including smoke detectors and regulations should there be a party or other event like that, that they would have to have a contact immediately accessible within an hour to meet with the sheriff's department. There are also regulations about noise ordinance, number of people on the property, and those kind of things. And what Putnam County has done is they do have that registration process. It's about $300 a year, and that covers really the manpower of regulating the people that choose to do short-term rentals. They don't have the days on there, about 14 and 30, but just like you said, these are businesses, so they would have to register with a business license and things like that. And right now, we have very few registered. In fact, we can pull the registered places, but I think it's just not been a permitted use for so long that people don't know exactly what to do, so they just list it on the sites and move forward. But anyway, and then in Putnam, they also have zoning classifications where they're not allowed at all. So anyway, so do you want to make a motion for us?
Well, I would make a motion to deny this or to defer it or something.
My recommendation would be that the board consider deferring this ordinance because right now it is not regulated. Right. And I think the issues that you're bringing up is something we could work through with planning staff, and not only just an ordinance, but maybe have like an accompanying policy or some way that we actually have the front counter, people who handle these kinds of things, but at least get it started, and then of course have a bigger conversation with our consultant as we start writing this. But maybe just perhaps at this moment, consider deferring it to your next board meeting so we can start working out some of those issues.
Because I have no problem with the regulations. They're great regulations and really needed. It's just that time that is my concern. So I make a motion to defer this text amendment to the next board meeting.
Okay.
And just for your records, recently I did hear a complaint about an Airbnb, actually with the Planning Commission. She wanted to raise the height of her privacy fence because of the things that they were doing. I don't know if that particular neighbor was operating, under like they were supposed to, but it was a complaint doing that. And I would suggest that we also consult with the Sheriff's Department to see how many people have complained, and so that give us a idea of how many are operating under the radar.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I agree. I think those are great suggestions. So I will second this motion.
Go ahead.
So I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye for the deferral of this amendment.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank
Aye.
you.
The motion carries.
Okay, item 174 is text amendment case 2025-06, an ordinance to amend the code of Rockdale County, Georgia as amended to amend section 106-1C, definitions, section 106, definitions and abbreviations, section 218-1, table of permitted uses, and section 218-13, supplemental regulations, subpart B, planning and development. to provide for repeal of conflicting provisions, to provide for an adoption date, and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
I move to approve the second reading and to adopt the ordinance as presented.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Item 175 is text amendment case 2025-07, an ordinance to amend the text of section 106-1 definitions, section 2-135 and 238-3, Planning Commission, Standards of Use and Development of the Unified Development Ordinance of Rockdale County, Georgia, as amended, regarding the Planning Commission and amending the supplemental regulations related thereto to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the second reading and to adopt this ordinance as presented.
I second the motion since we really don't have a choice.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The
Motion
hesitancy
carries.
is duly noted. So, okay. Item 176 is a future land use amendment case 2025-01, an ordinance to amend the future land use map of Rockdale County, Georgia's comprehensive plan as amended for property located at 2200 Frontier Drive Northwest from the medium density residential future land use category to the commercial future land use category, to repeal conflicting ordinances and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading. Although I would like to note that after we talked to the applicant, planning staff, and the Board of Commissioners during the last public hearing, the Rockdale County planning staff recommended the approval of an amendment from the medium-density residential future land use category to the office institutional future land use category instead of commercial.
So I move to approve the second reading as amended to be from the medium density to office institutional zoning category, future land use category.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Okay, and item 177 is the rezoning piece that goes with the same application. So it's rezoning case 2025-02, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County, Georgia, as amended by rezoning 2200 Frontier Drive Northwest from R1 single-family residential to C1 local commercial, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading, but the same thing that would apply here. The Rockdale County planning staff recommended a rezoning of 2200 Frontier Drive Northwest from R1 single-family residential to the O&I office institutional zoning.
And Madam Clerk, can you clarify in item 176 above, it referred to the property as medium density residential. Below it is designated as R1 single family residential.
Yes,
Is
on the
that
future.
correct?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did somebody say something? Okay. I didn't want to interrupt Director Gardner, but the future land use map had one designation and the zoning map had another designation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the second reading and to adopt this ordinance as presented.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Okay, item 178 is rezoning case 2025-03, an ordinance to amend the official zoning district map of Rockdale County, Georgia, as amended by rezoning 1535 and 1565 Northwest Farmer Road from R1 single-family residential to M1 limited industrial, to impose conditions upon the property, to repeal conflicting ordinances, and for other purposes. This is submitted for a second reading.
So if we approve this today without amending anything, is it going to be required to have those acceleration and deceleration lanes? I watched the public hearing last night, and there was a lot of conversation about that.
So staff reached back out to our DOT department, and based on the information also shared from the applicant in terms of if there would be employees at that location, which the applicant indicated it would not, because it's basically a substation where someone would probably have to just come in from time to time to maintain the structures and the equipment. And so based on that information, the decel and accel lanes would not be required.
Okay, good, because I think the idea of leaving the natural buffer there
Yes.
is a much better idea.
I agree.
Since there are no employees. Okay, so it's already included that there won't be any,
Correct.
okay, all right. So I move to approve the second read and to adopt the ordinance as presented.
Madam Chair, I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Okay, item 179 is the Terraces of Fieldstone bond issuance update, and John Nix is here to give that presentation to you.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Madam Chair, Commissioners. A brisk meeting. I didn't think I'd get up this fast. Here on behalf of the Development Authority of Rockdale County to tell you a little about the terraces refinancing. There's a federal law that requires when you have tax exempt bonds for a nonprofit, there's several categories under the IRS code. But in order to issue those bonds, you have to have a public hearing, which is called a TEFRA hearing, which the authority conducted on March the 31st at the chamber office. The meeting was open for 15 minutes from 9 o'clock to 9:15. The only reason it was open for 15 minutes is that no one appeared to make a statement. The purpose of the TEFRA hearing is to allow the public to come and make statements about the project. The second component of getting this kind of financing is the approval of the board or the governing body. In this instance, it's y'all. The Terraces, as y'all might know, is a 316 multifamily unit apartment complex off Ellington Road. This project would serve 20% of those units would be to, I've got to read it, low income individuals making 50% of the area median income. So it provides housing for that range, and 20%. The project is not a tax abatement. The authority does a lot of tax abatement deals. This is not a tax abatement deal. It's purely a vehicle to get the financing to a nonprofit so they get tax exempt status for the borrow. So when you approve this, there's no resulting financial obligation on the county whatsoever. There's no financial obligation on the authority whatsoever. We're basically a conduit that's required in order for them to get this financing.
And I'd like to add two clarifications. One, the 20% is for workforce housing, so it makes it more affordable for the people in those ranges. And then also, this property is one of our largest taxpayers in the county, so that tax exempt bonds does not relate to the tax exempt status for the property. So we'll still have property tax revenue from them.
They'll still be paying full scale on their tax bill. They won't get any kind of reduction.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And so we're going to vote on that resolution at our next meeting. Is
That's
that
correct, on the 22nd.
Can we vote on it today, since it's
not
on our
today.
agenda?
You can do what you want to,
Yeah,
right? Or is there a timing issue?
I think the way y'all set this up, or as I understood it, this was to give another opportunity for the public to
Okay,
hear
very
what the
good.
authority had to say about it in case they want to make comments to y'all.
Okay,
And that's why we position the vote for the next meeting.
excellent. Okay,
We're trying to
great.
be too efficient. Okay.
Yes,
so
that's great.
we'll
Thank
hold.
you.
All right, item 2025-180 are volunteer appointments for the Planning Commission. A is Ernestine Stovall Goolsby. The term would be April 8th, 2025 through July 1st, 2028. And this goes in line with the newly formed Rockdale County Planning Commission with 5 members, so the terms will be staggered as we begin. B is Angelique McClendon. The term is April 8th, 2025 through July 1st, 2028. C is Danny Forster. His term would be April 8th, 2025 through July 1st, 2028. D, John Lee Peterson Jr. His term would be April 8th 2025 through July 1st, 2029. And E is Marlesia Lianci, and her term would be April 8th, 2025 through July 1st, 2029.
I move to approve these appointments as presented.
Madam Chair, I second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. I did, as a point of discussion, want to take this opportunity to thank the board members who worked very, very hard on our planning commission. But with the separation between the city and the county, it just now makes this the next step for our community moving forward. And we will continue to try and engage people through the other volunteer appointments in the county.
Absolutely.
But thank you to all of the members. With that being said, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. At this time, we have board comment. Would you like to start today?
Okay. Had to think for a minute.
Okay.
I just wanted to comment on the board retreat last Friday and the fact that I think it's always good to have an opportunity to sit and hear from the different departments and specialists, consultants that help us make decisions, where we can talk in an open forum and discuss the issues in depth. It reminded me of what we were able to do before January 1st.
Yes.
Where we could discuss all of that without worry for the Open Records Act or the Sunshine Law. So it was carried out really well. Public Relations did a good job in getting things set up for that, and I'm not sure what else you did or who did everything, but behind the scenes work was really excellently done. Again, that's a nice compliment to our employees who work really hard. So those are my comments.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Smith?
Yes, ma'am. Last month, the Water Resources, Rockdale Water Resources, had the water tower competition, and they had over 60 students participate. And the first place went to Team Nitrogen Monoxide, and that was from Conyers Middle School. Second place was Shimmer and Shine, and that was at Conyers Middle School. Third place was Team Mexico, which was at Conyers Middle School. And our essay winners came from General Ray Davis and Conyers Middle School. Thanks to our community partners for their sponsorship for that competition. It was well organized, and the kids seemed to have had a lot of fun. I did. And I want to thank Water Resources for doing that, and Ms. Flint for heading that up. Also, it's spring break, so enjoy your spring break. And the month of April is Autism Awareness Month. And I know we don't have a particular autism program here in the county, but we do have activities through our Parks and Recreation Department. And I would like for Interim Deputy Director Wilson to explain, just in case people don't know what we have here in Rockdale County.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
So yes, April is National Autism Awareness Month, and we do have an umbrella program within Parks and Recreation called AIR, and that stands for Adaptive Inclusive Recreation of Rockdale. So with that program, we offer on a quarterly basis different programs for not just young kids, but adults. So social and rec activities for individuals with disabilities and special needs. So across the screen, you'll see some of our flyers going on right now, some of our programs for this quarter. We also collaborate with different day programs here in the community. They come over to Johnson Park, as well as offering inclusive programs where it's not just therapeutic recreation from, it's inclusive. And so we're working on other projects in the future, especially coming up this summer, and revitalizing some of the programs that we offered before for community members with autism. So
Now, are these for children or adults?
yes, both.
Okay.
Yes, so we do a combination. So we don't want to exclude anybody. So it's very inclusive. So some programs are for 5 and up, and some are for 18 and over with special needs. Yeah. All right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Excellent work.
Also, last week the chamber had a business expo and that was great. It was outside, and you had opportunity to see businesses that are doing business here in Rockdale County. And if you're interested in joining the chamber, please make sure you do that. And our board retreat was great. I appreciate the directors and their presentations. Very informative and well put together. Very good. Thank you so much. And thank you to the citizens that decided to come out and join us. I hope that you learned something and was informed. In the spirit of basketball and team, I'm going to leave you with this. A successful team is a group of many hands and one mind. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So I want to also commend Jessica Pollitt and all the staff members that set up for Love Where You Live, the event that we had a couple of weeks ago. It was an excellent opportunity for people to clean out, beautify their homes. We had recycling areas through Work for Eli, which is a great organization here in town that recycles electronics and associated materials safely. Additionally, we had dumpsters that were purchased rented through a grant that we received, and then other teams in the communities. The HOAs had teams working in their communities to beautify their areas. And so we hope, especially during this month where we celebrate Earth Day, that we will continue to focus on beautifying our community, our neighborhoods, and people will get out and volunteer to make that happen. Additionally, I want to mention that with our Unified Development Ordinance, I am looking forward to a well thought out planned community here in Rockdale, and I feel like those upgrades in our ordinances will enhance the beauty of our community and help us get a consistent, fair process for hearings where we don't have to add all the additional items and restrictions on. So we hope to collaborate with not only the community and having listening sessions during the process, but also with our developers and people that are experts in that area coming to the table so we can all end up with the best product possible. I did also want to invite people to the State of the County, which will be April 23rd at 9 a.m., and it will be next door at the auditorium. So I hope people will mark their calendars for that opportunity.
Can you clear up, do they have to pay to come?
That's a great question. Director Mims?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So the citizens of Rockdale County do not have to pay to come. Council of Quality Growth, that's one of our sponsors. They are selling tickets to our business community. And I think those are like under $50.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
All right. Madam Clerk, do we have a need for executive session today?
Yes, Madam Chair, for the purpose of discussing pending and threatened litigation and personnel.
Okay, thank you.
So if we could get a motion to enter into executive session.
Yes, Madam Clerk, I make a motion to move into executive session for the purposes of discussing pending litigation and human resources.
I second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion carries. Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.